Yo, what's good, YouTube? We back with another video, man. We're gonna be reacting to what dying off of every feels like, and also, what y'all think of the background? I got a little bit of decorations right here. I'm about to hang up something right here. It's like a little shelf. You can see it right back there. I'm gonna be hanging that up right here, but I'm gonna hang it up right here. Should I move my TV out my background? And I got some hats hanging up right here. I don't know what I should do with the background. Y'all let me know. But yeah, it's been a while, man. Let's get into it.
The pencil incident. Shrooms are a natural psychedelic that cause hallucinations.
Radar.
About 30 minutes after eating them, colors get brighter, patterns start crawling on the walls, time stretches like taffy, and your sense of self begins to melt. Your brain is rushed into a state of euphoria, leaving you questioning what's real and what's not. But what happens?
All right, hold on. I know there's a quick pause, but let me know down in the comments what type of things y'all have took, and I'm gonna be reading all the comments and stuff. And yeah, let me know what other videos y'all want me to react to too. But yeah, let's get back into it.
When you take too much. On a calm Saturday afternoon, a 21-year-old Hispanic man would return home from work and consume an unspecified quantity of shrooms. Shortly after consumption, he started experiencing a bad trip and began acting erratically upon arriving to his house. His stepfather and brother would step in and restrain him to try to calm him down, but he'd break free of their grasp and also break a glass vase in the process.
To step in whenever
In
someone's
his frenzied state, he'd then begin to rub himself against the glass shards on the floor and severely injure his arms and legs. His brother and stepfather would successfully intervene to stop him from injuring himself any further with the glass shards, and he'd be sat down at a desk. But shockingly enough, in a horrific act, he'd take a number 2 pencil that was laying on the desk, stand it upright, and repeatedly smash his head on the sharpened pencil.
I wonder what that number 2
When he
pencil
raised his
looked
head,
like to him.
he'd reveal that he jabbed the pencil repeatedly into both of his eye sockets.
Because don't it make you
He would
see
stand up
different
again
stuff?
to do something else, but quickly vomited on himself, leaving his family in a state of total
I
panic.
wonder what he was seeing.
Emergency services were called, where they tried desperately to save the young man's life, but unfortunately, they would only get so far. Shrooms are one of the least toxic substances in the world. You'd need to eat dozens or even hundreds of grams to fatally overdose. But that doesn't mean people can't die from it. Most fatalities come from behavioral toxicity, panicking, jumping out windows, walking into traffic, or doing something fatal during a full-blown psychotic break. You won't pass away from the drug itself. You'll pass away from what it does to your mind.
Okay, so I got a story real quick, right? So back in high school, this is about 2 years ago, I had a friend that worked at a bakery, right? And so I guess he learned how to cook a bunch of stuff, and he was really big into, smoking. And he would come to school every day with a whole dozen brownies full of stuff, and he would pop some mushrooms and stuff like that. And oh, I just lost my train of thought. I was looking at my food and I ain't ate yet. And it's like 9:40. I ain't even ate all day today. I woke up at like 6:30. But right, and so he used to he'd be so out of it. Like we'd be in construction class and he would walk out the back and just leave like he didn't even know he was at school. And the teacher knew, but we had a really chill teacher, so he didn't do nothing about it. But you could just tell, and he'd just be sitting in the back, just brownies over and over, like one after another. He'd hand them out. Like he made his own bakery at school, and then went to work at a bakery after. And he said he made them in the bakery. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, just a little story though.
The Gator incident. Now let's talk about meth. When it hits, you feel invincible. This substance cranks up your sympathetic nervous system and causes an explosive release of dopamine in your body. Your heart starts racing, you become laser focused, and you'll be filled with unstoppable energy. The high can last 8 to 16 hours. No sleep, no food, just intense stimulation. And when you take too much, your body turns into an absolute war zone. On May 26th in Orlando, Florida, concerned bystanders would phone a call to police officers to let them know that there was a man on a racetrack shaking violently, asking to see his son. When police arrived, he was nowhere to be found, until suddenly he was located in a lake, full of alligators. Officers would try to throw the man a life vest, but he'd refuse it and would start getting attacked by the alligators in the water. And to
What,
officers'
she's gonna, like,
surprise,
rise.
like it was a scene straight out of a horror movie, the man actually resurfaced out of the lake,
Yeah.
covered in severe
It
injuries
makes you,
and
like,
carrying gardening
invincible,
shears.
does it not?
He would charge at the officers
Until
in
it
their
wears
car,
off?
and in response, they would tase him repeatedly, but it would have
I don't know,
absolutely no effect.
16 hours is crazy.
It was only when
though.
the man jumped into the
Right.
passenger seat of the police cruiser and tried reaching for a rifle in the vehicle that officers finally used lethal force. Meth hijacks your brain's reward system and sends your body into overdrive. It burns out your dopamine center and disrupts your central nervous system so much that your body both loses touch with reality and can no longer regulate its temperature. Your organs can literally cook from the inside out and cause you to
I wonder what
collapse.
goes
You
through
can have a
your
heart
head,
attack,
though.
or you could simply just
Y'all
go on a
ever wondered that?
rampage
Like,
and meet an
just
early
what goes
demise
on
like
through your
this man.
head.
The 108th incident. Weed is by
108th,
far
that's
one of the
crazy.
most commonly used substances in the United States. Within minutes of smoking, you're relaxed, music
How many
sounds
of y'all
better,
roll up?
jokes are funnier,
Let me
and
know.
you get really, really hungry. You might feel euphoric, or anxious, or both.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
It depends on the
McDonald's would
strain,
hit
your
right
mood,
now.
and your brain chemistry.
I got some
So what
Chick-fil-A,
happens when
though.
you smoke too much of it?
Or I got a
Well,
root beer.
here's the truth. You can't die from THC toxicity alone. There's no known lethal dose in humans. You'd have to smoke thousands of joints in a short time to even come close. But that doesn't mean weed is harmless. In the spring of 2018 in California, a woman who had just befriended a man at a dog park she frequently visited would follow him home to his apartment for a quick spark-up session, which, mind you, is totally legal in the state of California. After the two finished lighting up grass through a bong, the woman would unexpectedly shoot up from her seat straight to the kitchen and grab 3 knives.
Hey, could you come back with some chips? And maybe some ice cream? And maybe...
Hold on. My doggie's in here. My doggie. Come here, Naya. Everybody say hi to my dog, Nala. My little Yorkie. Lay down here. Alright, lay down. Alright, back to it. Sorry for the
maybe
interruption.
some chicken to... Oh! Are you trying to chop up some salsa? I love salsa.
Jim, I'm not making salsa.
In just the blink of an eye, she would stab the man repeatedly non-stop 108 times. His body would be covered in stab marks from head to toe, and his face would nearly be entirely carved out. Officers that arrived at the scene would find that she had also stabbed her dog, and shockingly enough,
Yo,
had stabbed
what
herself
the
40
dog
times,
do?
and was still in the process of doing it.
Man,
They would quickly intervene and try to
I don't like when
physically
them people
stop her,
hurt dogs.
but it wasn't enough. Officers would tase her
Hey, what's y'all's favorite animal? Like, favorite pet? And do y'all prefer cats or dogs? Let me know down in the comments.
4 times to try to break her psychotic
prefer
frenzy,
dogs.
but
I'm
it would
allergic
be
to
to no
cats.
avail.
I want a
In order to
beagle,
get her
though.
to stop, one police officer had to swing a baton at her arm 9 times to break it, and finally she would release
Y'all
her
want a
grip
cat?
from the knife.
Get
The
a
man
beagle if
unfortunately
you're
didn't
allergic to
make it,
cats.
but surprisingly,
They're
the woman did.
non-allergenic or
And even
something like
more
that.
shockingly, she faced 0 prison time for her actions because it was proven in court that she experienced what is commonly known as cannabis-induced psychosis. The woman was very inexperienced when it came to smoking weed.
All right, little rant. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about tired of hearing all this BS, right? If you decide to take something, right, that is on you. You should not be able to be like, oh, I got this, that, and the other. And then they just like let you off with a slap on the wrist or something. Like, no, you decided to take it. Guess what? That's your own fault. Nobody made you. Now, if someone makes you take it, right, like they shove some pills in your drink or something, that's different. But if you decide, oh, yeah, I'm about to roll, and you go, and then you go and do something bad like this, guess what? Jail time. Send her off. Don't care. Book her.
And that potentially played a huge role in why
Facts
she
or-
experienced
facts or
this
not?
rare phenomenon. She was placed on probation for 2 years and was required to do 100 hours of community service. The man's family, especially his father, were extremely upset when they heard about this. Understandably so.
It should never have happened. She should have never have been allowed to walk free. She should have done some time. You know, you had a
Facts.
jury that convicted her,
Let me
a
know if y'all
unanimous
agree.
conviction,
He spit
in less than 4 hours. And the judge went completely against all 3 of those entities and just said, you're free to go.
The stove.
Yeah, that's BS.
YouTube really didn't like the case on ecstasy that I found. So instead, we'll go over this situation where a 26-year-old martial arts fighter and his sparring partner consumed an unnatural amount of shrooms while in their apartment. Initially, everything was fine, until they
What
became
makes you wanna
convinced that
do
the
this
world was
stuff?
coming to an end and that the two were fighting a battle
Fuck,
of
why
life and
take
death
so
between
much?
God and the devil. The two would begin their legendary battle, and finally, when
Let
the
a light
struggle
little thing
finished,
go, you
their
know?
friend would walk into their apartment room,
Bro,
only
that's
to
a whole
find the
kid.
martial arts fighter standing butt naked in the kitchen, cooking his friend's heart and remains in a stove. The victim would be found laying on the couch,
These
missing
true
his
stories
face,
too, right?
tongue, and heart. And sadly, the autopsy
What?
revealed that he was alive when his chest was ripped open and his heart was taken out.
Oh, nah.
The martial arts fighter wouldn't be as lucky as the woman in our last case. He'd be formally charged and sentenced to 47 years in state prison for what he did to his friend.
Wait, these are
Now, this
like,
probably
for real,
makes the
for real
US
true
legal
stories.
system come off as a little hypocritical,
Oh, Lord.
considering that in the other case, the woman was allowed to blame psychosis for her actions and be cleared of any severe wrongdoing, whereas in this case, the fighter's state of influence was ignored and he was directly sentenced. But honestly, that's your opinion to make. When it comes to overdosing on psilocybin, you'll find that it rarely ever ends you through toxicity alone. You'll need to eat an absurd amount for that to actually happen. The real danger is psychosis, panic, and delusion. Once you compromise the healthiness and security of your mind for a quick burst of excitement, you'll find that that's where things go haywire. So in other words, don't do drugs. Have a happy day.
Oh, the doggies. All right, let me know. Do y'all think this woman right here, right, should have got time? Or if this man shouldn't have got time? Let me know what y'all think. And also, go check out A Talking Hat. And y'all have a blessed day. Also, go check me out on Twitch. I'm about to start streaming again live every single day. I'm going to be doing games and reactions. Whatever y'all want me to do, y'all just come over there. Let me know what y'all want me to react to, what games y'all want me to play. Also, put it down in the comments below, man. I appreciate y'all. Have an amazing day, man. Peace out.